local companies that set the scene on a global basis. MTN is next. Also one of the world's largest mobile phone companies. If you go through the top 10, I can tell you that MTN's 235 million odd certainly puts them in that kind of category. We know where the big businesses are here in South Africa, in Nigeria, which has been a bit of a train wreck. We'll go into that in a moment's detail, I'm sure. And then in Iran, and then a whole lot of other countries like Ghana and Swaziland and Uganda and others in between. Price to earnings ratio, well, I'm not sure, because if you look at the recent results, then I suppose they took the write down of the fine in Nigeria.
Minus 1,000 negative.
Dividend yield, what does the dividend yield come in as? It says historic 9.5%, but I'm not even sure if that's going to be sustained.
Sure about that.
That's a combination of last year's maybe, plus
the last
that
12
reduced
months.
one this year.
Wait, you must remember, last year's dividend being static in the historic data, share price has come under severe pressure.
Well, let's talk about the share price, because you can see this one was well into the 200s plus. And then the news broke of a massive fine in Nigeria where they were accused of not having disconnected people who had not been properly verified in terms of their residential address. But really, to me, it looked like a tax scam. It looked like a knock-up where the Nigerian government wanted to raise some money.
Initially, it did look like
that.
It is fair, correct. Initially, it looked like that because very similar, I think, to a lot of governments worldwide. You start off with this astonishing number, and then you halve it again, and then everyone's relaxed to pay this lower number. And it's a bit like legislation. You come with something that's just completely and utterly unacceptable, knowing it's going to be changed, and then people don't really, they say, well, what we've got now is better than what we have, let's just do it.
Because eventually MTN got assistance from external mediators, and they did a deal with the Nigerian government. But look, I mean, we know that in some senses maybe they erred, they were a bit cavalier. But on another level, this RICA stuff is really, that's what it is.
Look, there's a few things. Whether RICA has actually ever caught a criminal or not, I just don't know. I've never heard of one being caught via RICA records. But if those are the rules, MTN did not comply with the rules. That is quite clear. They broke the law. Now, whether that is worthwhile of the initial fine they put in, or whether they put in the fine that they paid.
That's a good point. In other words, the fine was laughably high for the nature of the offence in a context where it's quite hard to get documentation in Nigeria, because there are lots of people in informal
This is the third world. You know, it is difficult. So Nigeria, clearly with an oil price at that stage of $30 odd, they were chasing revenue like you cannot believe. But MTN did transgress, and deservedly so got punished.
So now what? Because we know that now the positive 50% plus market share in Nigeria, it's a very strong business there. Can one apportion a positive value to it anymore? We know what South Africa can do. We know what's going on in Nigeria.
At a higher oil price, yes.
Yeah, because oil price is now trending back towards 50, so the Nigerian economy will be in better shape.
And they can get more money out.
And let's not forget Iran, because Iran is a very young country with 80 million people, a really substantial user base there already, and average revenues per user with scope to rise.
And they can get cash out after the nuclear deal.
So long as Mr. Trump doesn't reinstate sanctions over Iran.
Who knows? That we just don't know. But look, MTN is you've got those two growth companies. Well, I got a few more than the two, but those are the two big ones. And you can grow there, but obviously normally these countries are driven by one macro. And in Nigeria, it's oil. In Iran, it's oil. That's oil it. There's nothing else.
So this is in a way like a commodity play.
It's a cessile to a large extent.
That's an interesting observation. Right, so at 117 or whatever the price is, 115.
I think it's cheap, I'd buy it.
New management coming in next year.
Every person who's competent in the whole of Johannesburg, I'm sure, has been poached for a job at MTN, because every second day there's a new person they've poached from here.
They poached a guy from Old Mutual, Rolf Mapita. They poached Rob Shooter, the incoming CEO from Vodafone.
But they've changed the whole shooting match there, because you look at the share price, the fall in the share price, market capitalization-wise, is probably 4 times the value of the fine they've paid. So the market has punished this one properly.
But it's always all about the future, so we're going hot on MTN.